SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com. Since the dawn of civilization, the elusive quest in pursuit of the perfect drink continues to evolve. Now more than ever, we reap the rewards of this passion. The perfect vintage, the finest brew, for a spirit of optimum age and class. And now, SoFloRadio.com invites you to discover the wonderful world of booze by the glass.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to By the Glass. I'm your host, Brett Hubbard. I'm welcoming you to explore the wonderful world of wine, beer, spirits, and everything in between. I'm joined tonight by my guest host.
What? Oh, Ivan Bad.
Ivan Bad. It's usually Jason, but he's not here tonight.
That's what the glasses are for.
Yeah, I know. He's never here anymore. My guest host, Jason.
I'm nurturing my alter ego.
Supposedly, Jason is hiring somebody so he can make the show. But,
we miss you, Jason.
We miss you very much. I got Ivan Bad on the board over here. Kind of wild. And I have my guest in studio tonight is Beah Bunny, and she's joined by her lovely boyfriend, Seth. Thanks for coming in, guys. It was interesting because we were doing the show over at the Funky Buddha a couple weeks ago, and Beah came and joined us, and she had said to me, Brett, I really want to do a show that kind of has a little bit of an inflect on girls just getting into beers for the first time, people just getting into beers for the first time. So she got together with Ed, and they kind of came up with this intro to craft beer. So it's a kind of an interesting, fun way to kind of do it all over again.
Absolutely. I want to make it a little bit more approachable for people that say, oh, I don't like beer. I never want to try it, because that was me 3 years ago, and now I love it.
And I do hear that a lot when I'm out there talking to people about beer. And it's funny because they'll say, oh, I don't like beer. And you put something in their hand, they'll drink it. They're like, wow. And like, you don't like what you thought was beer, but maybe there's a beer out there for you that you just haven't tried yet.
Exactly. There's so many great craft beers out there to try.
And I think that people are kind of getting so caught up in the aspect that they're being bombarded with craft beer. It's kind of everywhere you go now. Everybody puts in 20 lines when they open up. They're all transforming their systems into these multi-tap systems that have, there's certainly a lot of the same out there, but there's a lot more new influx. And I don't think that people realize that there's a lot of people that just don't understand what's going on. So we're going so fast, 100 miles a minute here, that let's hold on, stop, and say, is there somebody out there who wants to raise their hands? This is kind of show for them to kind of get a little bit back into the feel of things, and just to touch base and say, hey, this is where we're at with craft beer. Kind of a nice little reintroduction. It's not very. Actually, I talked to Ed about it, and the beers that he picked are not very simple, but they are great gateway beers. That's a term that that's a term I thought I made up.
It's like a gateway drug, but not really.
Oh, that's a term I thought I made up, but I heard someone else say it too, and I was like, oh, I thought I made that up. And I'm like going out doing introductions, talking to people, doing educations and stuff, and I like to throw out my great gateway beer. Some people snicker and laugh. Those are the people out there that smoke weed in the audience. You know what I mean?
What? Look at me when you said that. I don't smoke weed in the audience.
He does it right here in the privacy of his own home. Unbelievable. But we have a really great show for you this evening. Like I said, we're going to go over some of the beers that have been picked, and they're great ways to go from a typical beer, possibly what you've been drinking, into the next logical step of what will bring you in. It won't be too much of a shock to your system. I always like to say to people, and it's funny, you walk into a lot of restaurants, and what is the manager always interested in when you're dealing with the manager and how to train his staff? How can I uptrade? How can I sell up?
Oh, okay.
Upsell.
You want to sell it. You want to upsell. So, but the kid is over there, taking them from a Bud Light to an IPA, and it's like, whoa, they'll never try it again.
Never.
It has to be a slow incline of your own palate, kind of an understanding. Seth, you a craft beer drinker?
A little bit. Trying to get into the field.
Okay, so you're great for this show.
Exactly.
What do you normally drink?
I used
okay.
to drink
You can tell us.
a lot of Miller, then some Heineken. But now, Dogfish is one of my preferred beers to go.
So you
for.
feel that the Heineken was a good bridge from the Miller?
Yeah, because as far as a taste, it's the heaviest that I've been used to, and then taking a step back and even considering the different types of Dogfish that are out there, a 60-minute versus a 90-minute, and then just like you said, starting on that beginning journey and finding out the different types of craft beer that are available out there.
Right. So that's a good introspect into what people go through, and I definitely feel that I've tried. I used to go out there and I started out in the wine world many years ago in the drinking spirits, and I just tried every beer I could possibly for years and years and years. You kind of forget where people are in this day and age, and the fact that it's just all being rushed out to you. And it's kind of tough for people, especially when they walk into a place. It was okay when there was a new beer on tap, and it was like, "What's that? Let me try it." And maybe it was something that kind of filled the mold. I think there was a lot of, you mentioned Dogfish, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, maybe Brooklyn, beers like that were the first that maybe someone would put on tap. It was an intro for a lot of people. It might have been Fat Tire on the West and Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the ones that kind of showed people that there was flavor in beer. And then they were able to make an assumption based upon that, getting away from. And I think we all drank light beers growing up. Of course, I did. I remember sitting on the green boxes in Florida. We have these green boxes that are FP&L boxes, and everybody's got one in their neighborhood. And we used to sit on the black boxes and drink Coors, the yellow cans, regular Coors.
I did not drink light beer growing up,
I hated beer growing up.
and if I drank Coors, I would have drank it.
That's only because you're from Montana, where they eat Rocky Mountain oysters.
Rainier and Olympia beer. I don't like all of those beers. Can I say that? I mean, I don't want to.
You've said it many times.
I mean, they're not sponsors, are they?
No,
I
they're
don't like
not.
Coors, Rainier, or Olympia.
Fair enough.
All right.
Those are all lagers, by the way, just straight up lagers. But I remember the days when we used to drink Coors Original, sitting on the green box out in the neighborhood. It was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
It's not an accident. That's the name of it.
But George but what did George do? Being the person that he is, he gravitated towards malty or darker beers, which is what he likes.
I had no idea those things were even out there. Girl gave me a Guinness. The clouds parted. Angels sang hosannas. There were trumpets.
They sang
And they're like,
Josefina.
beer can taste like this, really? And I wanted to call, my friends up in Montana and just, I hate you. I hate you. What do you make me drink all that nasty Rainier?
Well, when I was in Montana, I actually had the wild huckleberry beer,
Well, I like wild huckleberries.
and that was fabulous.
Hey, Dio. Dio just joined us, folks.
Hi,
There's a mic
Dio.
up there if you want to join in. Fantastic. So, tell me a little about the wild huckleberry.
Huckleberries, I believe, are indigenous to like the Montana, that kind of west
Yes.
area.
They only grow wild. And
George
they
used
don't
to
grow in the
pick
same
them.
place twice. And huckleberry picking is a noble tradition that we go several
I
times
thought it was
a year.
nose picking.
Yeah, that too, and banjo picking. And sometimes with spick, we go spick picking.
You pick your spick?
Yes. So there.
Fantastic. So
Huckleberries
huckleberries
are great.
And is that a fruit beer?
It is a fruit beer, but it's not too fruity. It's more along the lines of a fruit ale.
Okay.
When I was in the Marlboro Ranch, we did a craft beer tasting.
Wow.
So they had about 4 or 5 different craft beers that are generally just in that Montana type area.
Wow.
So that was fun.
Do they sell Marlboro cigarettes at the Marlboro Ranch?
They give them to you.
Now, is it actually the Marlboro Ranch?
It's called the Crazy Mountain Ranch, and Marlboro rents it out during the spring, summer, and the winter area. So you win the trip there. You can't actually go there as a civilian.
Oh, okay.
And you get to do all kinds of fun stuff like off-roading in the summer and horseback riding and all that good stuff.
Roll your own cigarettes and
Yeah, no, they don't.
definitely
They
use
just get you drunk.
tobacco pipes. Very cool. I love it. So they get you drunk. That's good. That's a lot of interesting information. Now, I know that George had some bad experiences and
Just with the beer,
with beer
not
too.
with the huckleberries.
Okay.
Huckleberries are
You know,
great.
bad Montana experiences. I don't know, but
No.
And then with beer too. But
Although the rest of my experiences in Montana were actually very positive.
I know. I'm just messing around, George.
Wonderful place. To
It
Did
is.
you wear a
be teenager.
bandana when your home was in Montana?
No, but I did visit the dental floss branch.
Is there a museum out there for dental floss? We used it once. Anyway, so great ways to find what you like when it comes to craft beer. Oh, this show goes by so fast. Let's start drinking because everybody's
Please.
listening.
Yeah.
Bust open the hotter than hell ace. If you wouldn't mind putting that back, that doesn't come till the end of the show, but I'm sure that no worries. It doesn't even have to be cold.
Sure.
He could probably position that one. Yeah, let's bust open the hotter than hell ace. You want to crack that open and give everybody a little bit?
No.
Basically, the hotter than hell ace. It's interesting because this is Cigar City beer here, but it's just a pale lager. And the funny thing is that the hotter than hell ace, you would think it. I thought it had peppers in when I first saw it, and Ed's like, "There's no peppers in that. It's just a pun," and it says it right on the label too. And if you can get past the fact that it only says that it's hell ace is the term for a light beer in German.
Okay.
Helles means light, and Dunkel means dark. So it's a Helles lager, a light lager. And Helles lagers differ from Bohemian Pilsners in the fact that they're a little maltier, they're a little more golden, they don't have as much of a traditional noble hop finish. So they're a little bit easier drinking. You know what's a Helles lager? Would be a Warsteiner. Okay, if you guys want a good reference out there. So this is an American version of a classic Helles Pilsner. And this would be what you would, if you were a Bud Light or Miller Lite drinker, this would be something that you would probably enjoy. If you weren't going to necessarily go out and get a Warsteiner because you think it might be too traditional or whatever, and you're into craft cool beer, this might be something that you might pick up in the store. And I know they sell this in Publix and other places. And this is something you might actually, if being a lager drinker, if you drink a lot of Olympia, Rainier, and that type of thing like George does, then you might actually want to pick up something like this and put it up to your nose. Now, guys, tell me what you see when what you're smelling in these wonderful Sam Adams
A little
glasses.
citrus, maybe a little lemony.
That citrus lemon is coming somewhat from the hops because basically lagers tend to be just pure malts and hops. They're clean, and they really should be void of all of the really nice fruity esters that come in ales. It should be super easy drinking because lagers, that's what they're known for. They're cold fermentation so that they're just clean, crisp, and pale.
And that's how the color is clean, crisp, and pale.
Yeah, it's a very hazy light to golden, if you guys can see at home. It's a wonderful beer. And I also get, what you get from that fermentation from the pale malts is you get a little bit of honey. Do you get that a little bit?
Yeah.
It almost comes
little
across
bit.
like a honeysuckle, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This comes from really, really nice, wonderful Imperial Pilsners and Pilsners of the sort. That's actually the malt that you're smelling, and that's the sugar from the malt. That's during fermentation. The fermentation is cold in a lager, so there's not a lot of hot friction from the chemical reaction. So the cold George. So the cold actually it more is like it's more of a chemical. I'm sorry, not more of a chemical. It's more of like a transformation as opposed to a reaction. It takes a long, slow time, and that's why it's a really nice, light, easy drinker.
And it's a local beer, so yay. Support local breweries.
Really nice. Yeah, meet the locals, support the locals. It's a really nice because it's creamy too, a little bit creamy there, and that comes from the fact that lagers tend to be a little creamier. Like I said, ales tend to be a little hotter, drier, and crisper, whereas lagers are a little bit more creamy and well-rounded on the palate. Right?
Aye.
There you go. Hotter than Helles. And there's a lot of great lagers out there that you guys should try if you're interested in lagers. This happens to be one of Ed's favorites. Tonight's Ed's favorite picks show. So
Yeah.
we're going with that. Eddie Rabbits. So, moving right along because everyone wants to keep on drinking.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes.
So, he did go with a traditional for the second one. We're going to make George try and pronounce this.
Why is it French?
There you go.
Right there. Oh boy, really? This one here, the German one.
Come on, George. This is fun. Look at him squirm.
Weihenstephan.
Not bad. Weihenstephan.
Fine
Really?
Stefan.
That's pretty good.
Y'all.
Say that again.
Weihenstephan.
Weinen. That's not how you say that.
Yes, it is. Look at
All
this
right.
guy. I love this guy. By the way, Gentleman Jack joins the show as an intern. Fantastic.
Jack.
Love having him here.
Welcome.
I asked Gentleman Jack for a few quick facts, and look what he helped
You can't
jammed
say
up.
hi, Jack. It's
Wow.
post 9/11.
Bam.
Unbelievable. I can't say hi, Jack.
Or low jack.
Man, this
bomb.
is awesome. Yeah, this is cool because we're going to have Chris Leonard, VP Operations from Left Hand Brewing, call in at about 6:30, about 10 minutes. We'll probably
Yum.
take a break, but when we come back, we have all these interesting facts on the Left Hand Brewery. As we talk about our next beer a little bit, but I'm going to have Dio pour the Weihenstephan, and he's pouring. It's the Hefeweizen. So say that all one time, quick.
Hefeweizen.
Say-
Weihenstephan.
Weihenstephan Hefeweizen.
I
There
don't
you
think
go.
that's a pronunciation.
Awesome. That's how you say
There's
it.
an H in the middle there.
Yeah.
You gotta get the
Weihenstephan.
Weihenstephan.
There you go.
Weihenstephan.
There you go.
Stefan.
Weihenstephan.
Stefan.
Okay.
Weihenstephan.
These guys began, interesting. This is about Left Hand Brewing Company.
I just learned how to say Smittix for Christ's sakes.
Mythics.
All right, so let's go back.
Smittix.
Let's go back to Weihenstephan since we're tasting it. Are you tasting any of these, gentlemen, Jack?
You
a
can.
glass up there.
You're allowed.
Please. So,
We
guys,
won't make fun of you.
Yes, we will.
this is the one. This is one that's out of Germany, of course. It won one of the best beers in the world. Of course, these guys are from the Bavarian region. Their Vitus is one of the top beers in the world. They have a Dunkel, a Crystal, and this is their Hefeweizen. And it basically beats all the competitors. This is a way to increase your palate overall because generally, what do most people drink that looks like this? Come on, Beah Bunny.
Blue Moon.
There you go.
Tuker.
Yeah.
There you go. Blue Moon, Tuker, that type of thing. This is a step up. Now, Blue Moon and Tuker happen to be Belgian wits, and this is a German Hefeweizen, but that's okay because they're somewhat in the same class. Now, when you guys stick your nose in there, and these are beautiful glasses for tasting, what's the first thing you smell? Tropical fruit of
Hops.
What do you smell? I don't get hops.
I get fruity.
I get like pineapple-y.
I'm not sure what
little
fruit it
bit.
is.
Bananas, maybe.
Definitely more fruity
Citrusy?
pineapple. Yeah.
I smell more
Sorry,
of a banana.
Down, George, but it was good.
Bananas.
That's all right.
Some bananas, some fruit, right? And then you get a little bit of what's the spice in there, George? Kind of like a ham and a clove.
Maybe.
I was-
I smell hops. I taste hops.
I was thinking a little bit. It was almost anise flavored, or like a
Anise.
licoricey.
A licorice. Okay, so you get a little of that. That's like that clovey or kind of like there's a good bevy of different cloves and spices that come into that. So perfect for tasting these salmon glasses. Everybody, take a drink. Tell me what you think.
Should I have not been drinking it this whole time?
Yeah, well, no, you should have. I
Sorry.
haven't.
No, drink it. Tell me what you think. The interesting thing about this is what you taste, that really nice spice. Those are the yeasts that do that, and they give you those really nice. They're called phenols. They're called clove pepper phenols, and this is a really good way to bring your palate from. Blue Moon's a great beer. I love it, but it's not as complex as this. So if you've been drinking Blue Moon for a while and you're liking the taste, but you're feeling it might get a little bit boring, it might be a little bit bland, and you want to step up, you go for a nice German Hefeweizen like a Weihenstephaner, and it's really a beautiful way to make that jump. And you do see this on tap in a lot of places. This is always available in Total Wine, and it's an award-winning beer.
It's like a light, crisp fruit kind of.
Perfect,
when it
light,
hits you-
crisp, dry,
Yeah.
fruity, spicy,
Yeah. and-
unbelievably refreshing. You know what this really goes good with is bratwurst.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, you got any?
Yeah. Any more German words we have?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
There you go.
Perfect nougat.
Schnitzel is
What-
the number one.
What
And
kind of
you know-
schnitzel?
Wiener.
Wiener Schnitzel. Yeah.
George knows Wiener very
Wiener
well.
Schnitzel.
I used to think that Wiener Schnitzel
I have
was a hot dog. Like, it's got nothing to do with a hot
too.
dog. It's from Vienna, so it's a Wiener,
I'd explain
right?
that. Bulge.
From Vienna, and a Schnitzel is actually.
What? I didn't think you were listening.
Did you guys?
Isn't
Explains that bulge in my Schwieners. My Wiener.
isn't schnitzel the way that it's cooked? It's like pounded out and fried and stuff.
Oh
You
my
pound
God.
your Wiener?
Jovina.
Just this morning, as a matter of fact.
Right after you woke up?
Yeah.
Absolutely, you do pound your Wiener Schnitzel.
Pound
And
the
then-
Wiener Schnitzel.
That's
And
right.
the thing is that it's breaded. It's. Do you ever have a Milanese or just a
Yes.
chicken cutlet? That's really what a schnitzel is.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. And the thing is that this
Yeah.
is drying,
The past 2 minutes have been kind of funny.
and it's nice and breaded, so it really works well. It's very dry and refreshing, and you're never gonna have anything better than a nice Hefeweizen and a Wiener Schnitzel. If you're in Bavaria, so be it.
In
But
your lederhosen.
you gotta be wearing your lederhosen for sure. So
Wow.
guys, it's a
Sorry.
great way to step up from Blue Moon to a look for something from Germany, a nice Hefeweizen. You're going to get all that spicy clove that you're looking for and everything in between. So we got a little bit more time here to talk. Let's talk a little bit about Left Hand. When we come back from break at 6:30, we're going to have Chris Leonard calling in, VP of Operations for Left Hand Brewery.
Yummy.
Gentleman Jack was so kind to get us some notes. Began in December 1990 with a homebrewing kit. Dick Dorr. That's
Kind
his
of
name?
like you did. See how far you could go.
Wow.
It's that beer that you brewed.
You know, I just brewed a beer yesterday.
So was it as good as that stuff? Because I saved that bottle, your pirate.
you did?
Yeah, because it's really good. I would
Thanks.
buy that beer.
Thank you. No, I enjoyed that beer, and I just brewed a Belgian pale ale. I wanted to get a little spicy, kind of the same type of spice that we tasted in this last one. A little bit. It's going to be malty, so I think that you'll like it. It's
Yeah.
going to be a little bit more malty
Rock
than
and roll.
normal. I kind of have this Belgian kick with. I like their yeasts because their yeasts give you those really nice spices. It kind of like is a nice little added addition to brewing. So yeah, I'm excited about that one, and I'm going to dry hop it with some really nice. I got some Citra hop and some what I also use Amarillo, and those are very fruity, fruity and citrusy hops. And I learned a little trick. What are you laughing about? What's going on here?
Nothing.
The dry hopping.
Yeah. 'Cause we started out talking about teenage years, and now we're dry.
Dry
hopping with our Wiener Schnitzels.
I gotta
Dry hopping the Wiener
send
Schnitzel.
somebody a note on Facebook now that you remind me.
Did
Old
you
middle-
use your
Old middle
Wiener
school
Schnitzel
girlfriend. Hey, guess
to
what we were
dry
talking
hop in
about
your
today?
teenage
Remember-
years?
Remember when we used to
Dry hop.
Yeah.
Pound Wieners?
pound Wiener Schnitzel and dry
Pound
hop?
Wieners und dry hop in der Lederhosen. Ja.
So the guy from Left Hand's name is Dick. Are you gonna be able to handle that when we call it?
I was just thinking of Hop Slam beer now. As a matter of fact, now that we're-
Oh, I love Hop Slam.
yeah,
Are you gonna be able to contain
we
yourself?
could do some dry hop slam later.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's the whole thing
So-
about dry hopping. It's not for long.
Usually lasts about 2 to
That's how
3
it
minutes.
starts out that way, but yeah, never.
I feel like dry hopping would probably be not as comfortable.
It's a nice dry finish. But
Oh, like you haven't done it, Beah. Come on. So September 21st, 1993, Left Hand Brewery, they incorporated Indian Peaks Brewing Company, and they set up shop former meat packing. Oh, Jesus. What is this, a setup?
Oh, no. Thank you for joining us on today's By the Glass. Let me just play that out music.
Used to be by the glass.
Where's my rainbow flag?
Super. Thanks for
None of this
asking.
was intentional.
But
Lies.
it's always the way that live radio comes together. So the St. Vrain River. Oh, is that Vane or Vrain? Oh, sorry, the St. Vrain River.
River?
So it's a meatpacking plant on the St. Vrain River. Formerly, yes, down Longmont, Colorado. Left Hand's doors opened for business on January 22nd, 1994. So, and they've been making really great stuff. Now, George, are you a big fan of Left Hand?
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact, because, in the olden days, we had to turn pages with our right hand. And now the mouse. So, yeah, of course. Do a
Right.
lot of things with your left hand.
I bet you do. So Left Hand Brewing, very interesting. No, the reason I ask you that, George, is because you're a big fan of the stouts and the malty beers.
Yes, I am.
Yum.
And these guys make unbelievable
As a matter of fact,
stouts.
right here, just a few doors down from where we are right now, the Native Florida Tap Room has Left Hand on tap. And when you go there to listen to your live music, that's my favorite beer to order there. And they have a lot of really exotic beers on tap right here.
Really? I didn't even know it existed. Native Florida Tap Room?
Indeed. Yeah.
that new?
The name says it all. Relatively, they're about a year old, I would say, more
Yeah.
or less. And they're featured. They have their concept is
okay.
a lot of a variety of exotic beers on tap and live music of a local type.
Kilmo Doom is the guy from down here. Is it Kilmo Doom?
I have
he's a
no
guitar.
idea.
He's
No
always playing there. And I think he's an Indian. So I mean like Native Florida, like Indian?
Like
How many people can we offend in one show?
Native Floridian.
I'm sure we can offend
I'll,
plenty.
create a checklist. I made a
Going
spit
for a
joke
record.
earlier, so we got that out of the way real quick.
Okay. So back to the meatpacking plant. Anyway, so fantastic. Left Hand. So we got Chris calling in. He's going to talk a little bit about the brewery expansion, whatnot, that type of thing, and all kinds of fun stuff. But we can keep drinking if we want.
Yeah, let's keep
Or-
drinking.
If we want.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Wait, who doesn't want to drink?
I don't know.
Crazy people.
Yeah. We want to have. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Well, let's see. What we have here is we have the Samuel Smith Organic Raspberry. Let's talk a little bit about that one. Beah, you have gone through and tasted some of these beers
Yes.
last night. Give me a rundown on what you felt about the first three we tried and kind of how that appeals to girls and the intro and those types of things. So here's a little list of the beers if you want to talk about that.
I think that for girls, the lager is really nice. But it's probably not going to be a go-to beer for most girls. It's not generally something that if I go to a bar, I'm going to say, oh, I want to try a lager.
Lagers tend to be a little bland, right?
Yeah, they're a little bit bland. They're not, they're not as flavorful as girls. We want something flavorful. We want something pretty. We want something appealing. That's why I feel like a lot of girls, going on to the next beer, like something like a Blue Moon.
Right.
Because they serve it, they have a little orange on it, it's really pretty, and it's got a little bit of that citrusy flavor, so
Right.
it gives us a little bit of something more to work with. The Hefeweiss beer is always a nice beer, especially during the summer. It's crisp, it's cool, it's kind of delicious. And now coming into the Samuel Smith,
Well, let me go back to the Hefeweizen. That's something. Now you talked about the lager being a little blander, and this is great. See, this is the basis of this show. By the way, I didn't even say the hello. We are By the Glass. We're a show
Hi.
about beverage culture. We come to you every
Just been
Thursday
drinking.
at 6 on SoFlo Radio and ByTheGlassShow.com. You can find me at Brett By the Glass on Facebook. We have Brett Hubbard on Instagram.
Yes.
And we also have By the Glass Show on Twitter. You can find us at all those places and find out what's going on. And today, of course, we have Beah Bunny in studio with her lovely boyfriend Seth, and that doesn't,
not what I
that
thought
doesn't
you were
offend you if I call you lovely, does it? I have the
He's
rainbow flag over
lovely.
here.
You're a
so
beautiful man as well.
Thank you so much. And
I thought you were
Hi-yo.
gonna
we
say
got that out of the way.
with her lovely mustache.
I must ask you a question.
I must ask you a question. And
Along with
she's
the
coming in.
meatpacking.
To,
Yeah, I thought we were done with that.
okay, so Gentleman Jack. So you came in to talk a little bit about the female perception and on craft beer. And I think it's a lot of things that, especially, the thing is that people do studies on this type of thing. We want to know what women think and how they feel about certain types of beers and how they would perceive it. And to hear that if you walk in and find a lager kind of boring, I thought only guys felt that way.
Sometimes.
The interesting thing about it is that craft beer kind of makes that revolution. It's funny because I remember about 10 years ago, all the breweries they couldn't wait to make that really interesting offbeat ale, and then they moved up to an IPA, and then they started to funk out with some browns or some porters, stouts. But now they're all working their way right back around to pilsners again. Now it's about who can make that best pilsner, and it's only because they're sick of making all that funky stuff, and they want to see who's really got the gusto. And you think about it, the Germans kind of went through that 500 years ago. The Belgians went through that stuff about 500 years ago. They're back to their original beers again because they went through all their fun and interesting stuff. Now it's just America who's got to go through it. So very cool. So I really appreciate your insight on all that type of thing. And you know what? Before we get to this next one, let's take a quick break. We're going to go and we'll take a break. And when we get back, you ready for a break, George? When we
ready.
get back,
I'm totally ready.
Cool. When we get back, we're going to have Chris call in from Left Hand, and we're going to go over all that kind of stuff. We'll do all that when we come back on By the Glass Show on SoFloRadio.com.
SoFloRadio.com. Professional consultants behind your home or business computer with key information solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology, preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now, 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
Have you ever wondered how you could make a difference in someone's life? What if you could help hundreds or even thousands of children? You might think it impossible, but it's within your reach. Right now, today, students in the U.S. rank 32nd in world math skills. It's time for our children to catch up. And you can help. Become an owner of one of the world's fastest growing franchises, Mathnasium. Mathnasium is the leading math-only learning center in the U.S. Its only purpose is to make our kids better at math. Imagine helping hundreds, even thousands of students in your community improve in school and raise their self-esteem, all while doing something you truly love. Call us at 800-434-1360 to learn more about Mathnasium's exciting franchise opportunities. That's 800-434-1360 to learn how you can make a difference. Doing something you truly love. That's 800-434-1360. 800-434-1360.
When you're ready to actually lose weight safely and steadily while being monitored by a physician, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson is there for you. The family medicine practice was established by her father in 1956 and continues as a medical practice that now specializes in weight reduction. Dr. Kim Jacobson joined the practice 20 years ago as both a family medicine practitioner and weight loss specialist. The Weight Loss Clinic utilizes a combination of appetite suppression medication and vitamins to produce great results, usually 3 to 4 pounds per week for most patients. Now you can change your lifestyle while still enjoying your own food, just less of it. They offer a choice of 2, 3, or 4-week plans. So whether you just need to lose a few pounds or a lot, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson can help you. They're located at 5454 Northeast 4th Avenue in Miami, just 2 blocks west of 54th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. Call them at 305-751-0091. They'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. That's 305-751-0091. Get started on a beautiful new body today with Dr. Kim Jacobson and the Weight Loss Clinic.
This is John Etch in the Sports Heads.
Well, somebody told Wesley Snipes that it was unconstitutional to pay taxes.
Oh my God.
That, they can't charge taxes. It's not in the Constitution. So he's like, hey man, it's not in the Constitution. Yeah, but it's a law. So now you're going to jail. Thank you for admitting it, by the way.
Put yourself in these guys' shoes. You get a check for $3 million. Mm-hmm. Are you going to claim taxes on that?
Yeah, I am. You know what?
Tuesday 7 to 9, Thursday 8 to 10.
John Edge and the Sports Heads.
On SoFloRadio.com.
And now we return you to By the Glass.
Welcome back to By the Glass. I believe we have our caller calling in, Mr. Chris Leonard. How are you, sir?
Never been better. Yourself?
Oh, fantastic. I really want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to call in to buy the glass. VP of Operations for Left Hand Brewery. We were just kind of doing a little profile on Left Hand and talking a little bit about some of the amazing history that you guys have had at the brewery. And it's just an honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having us. Absolutely.
Hold on one second. Can we turn him up a little, George, so we can have him in? So there's a lot of really great stuff that's been going on. First of all, I'd like to ask, are you guys near any of the fires out there in Colorado?
Unfortunately, we are not near any of them, but they are popping up on the daily right now.
I was just in Colorado last week, and I pulled into to DIA, and a tornado touched down. And it was like it was the weirdest thing. I was like, we were driving up into the mountains. We went and stopped at Tommyknocker, and we're just kind of cruising around, and I couldn't believe it. It looked like Florida weather. It was out of this world.
Yeah, it's been a crazy spring for us for sure. I mean, it's been we had a lot of snow early on, November, December, then nothing, and then we were down to really low snowpack, and then April happened and we got back up. So we thought we'd be a little bit better. So the fire season has been pushed back a little bit. But, there's a lot of crazy fires going on. The worst one we've had in the history, even over last year, in terms of homes lost.
Well, our hearts go out to everybody out there. I know that it just must be a horrendous thing to deal with, and we hope that everybody gets back up and running real soon, for sure. So talk to me about the brewery. I know you had a lot of expansions going on, a lot of great things going on. What's happening out there?
It's a continual state of flux, just like the rest of the craft beer industry. We're fortunate enough to have to be going out and buying tanks and, adding on and, trying to, fix things that we haven't been able to fix over the years. So we just installed 3 new tanks. 2 of them are 480 fermenters from Mueller out of St. Louis, and we should be brewing into them by the end of July. And then we dropped in an additional 500-barrel bright tank from over in Germany. We just from Rolec, and we just installed that a few weeks ago, and that is up and operational. So that's going on, and we put the final piece to our new bottling hall. So last year we were running about 48 bottles a minute. Our new bottling line's running 180 to 200 bottles a minute. So lots of stuff going on. That's just to scratch the surface.
It really is. It's amazing. I heard you guys are doing possibly looking at a little bit of a land grab too, to try and kind of expand.
Yeah, we bought the property we bought the property across the street from us about 3 years ago, which is a little over 3 acres, and then we just closed last month on about 2 acres just to the east side of us. We're not planning on doing anything with that in the short term, but we do plan on that's going to be the future home of a new 200 to 250 barrel brew house for the next 3 to 5 years.
That's amazing. I've seen.
Yeah, so
interesting because if you look at the Florida market, we're down here in South Florida, and Guinness was so strong forever. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to just bring that up, but the fact that your milk stout it practically goes 1 for 1 with it in a lot of these accounts now, and it's the only real stout that you see is that Left Hand Milk Stout Nitro, and that's a real testament to the brand. I mean, it really is. People like it.
Yeah, I mean that beer has been crushing for us. It's hard to think, it's hard to even imagine that was a seasonal, and it started in draft only and then went to 22 ounce, and that wasn't that long ago. And you ask most craft brewers today what their flagship is, and they'll tell you it's an IPA or a pale ale. I mean, there's not many in the country that have a stout as their flagship, but that beer's a game changer. I think it's a beer where if you're a complete beer geek, you can still love and appreciate. And if you're a novice, it's kind of people that say it's kind of the beer that gets people into dark beer.
It's delicious.
Yeah, we got George here.
Jump that in there. I'm not a beer geek. I'm just a little bit of a beer snob, and I really like the dark malty beers. And this is great. It's not the first time I've had it.
George is my producer, and I'm the host, and it's a show about beverage culture. So he's the radio guy.
I just feel the need to chime in there.
And but the thing is that he's always been a Guinness guy. And we tasted
malty
this.
beers.
He loves, and we tasted this on the show a couple times over the years, and he's just always been a huge fan.
It's an amazing beer.
Oh, I appreciate that. Let's give if I can give props to Guinness. I mean, that's a great beer. It's a completely different style. And everybody comes up and they want us to compare the two. It's like they're different styles, they're different beers.
Yes,
I mean,
sure.
Guinness
Very
is
different
light,
flavor.
different flavor, completely different realm. I actually enjoy Guinness for what that style is, but when it comes to a sweet stout, I think ours is definitely top.
This has got a coffee flavor that that Guinness doesn't have, and it's really, really yummy.
Well, totally, and I totally see where you're coming from, and I certainly wouldn't compare. They're totally different styles of stouts. But the thing is that, well, I guess I don't know if you've ever been down to Florida. It's super hot. And it's
I'm going there in 2 weeks for vacation, and I cannot wait.
Okay, cool. It's very hot and lovely and humid and everything, but you want it, you would think, and we don't sell a lot of porters down here or stouts for the most part, but I'll tell you, I mean, for anybody, Guinness made it on its name, and you guys made it on your flavor, and your name too, but basically to put it on and give it a shot, and people will not keep something on that doesn't sell, and in an environment like Florida, that's why I kind of use them as a benchmark, because they're the only dark beer you really see. I mean, there's a local beer down here called Maduro from Cigar City.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I'm familiar with those guys, Wayne and Joey and all them. Absolutely. Great brewery, great people.
So, but, I just wanted to give you mad props. So talk to me about some of your other brands or some of your other flavors that you got going on.
Boy, for the last year and a half, we've had a real struggle with doing anything, seasonally. Because if you take a look, what's the number one category out there right now? It's seasonal beers, and we started 20 years ago this September, and Sawtooth, which is our amber ESB, depending on who I'm talking with, that beer is still crushing, and our Polestar Pilsner, that beer is the beer that we're the most proud of. Pilsner, craft Pilsners, there's just nowhere to hide. It's clear, not a lot of ingredients. You can hide an inferior beer behind a lot of candy sugars and a lot of hops, and that's where our 400-pound monkey comes in. That's why we named it that. It's an English-style IPA, and our VP of Brewing Ops, my counterpart here at the brewery, got upset a couple of years ago when somebody was asking about hops, and he's like, any monkey can throw 400 pounds of hops in a kettle. It doesn't mean the beer's good. And we got beat up for that comment a little bit, but we, said, hey, let's make fun of ourselves when we do an IPA. Let's do that. So those beers are all doing really, really well. They are growing as well, not just our nitro, but our seasonals in the last, year and a half, they've been kind of put to the side. And we have a lot of draft-only seasonals coming out of the woodwork. We have a couple bottles that are coming out. We actually did in Cigar City, you mentioned them. We both did a Homefront IPA for Operation Homefront for Wounded Soldiers. So you've probably seen their beer in the market, I would assume, right?
I don't know if it got down here. We get limited supply, believe it or not.
I'm talking the Cigar Cities ones.
I'm telling you, we get limited supply even in South Florida. They'll keep what they have mostly for Tampa and that area.
Gotcha.
And then we get, then they can't even, a lot of times can't even give us, we run out of High Lie, a lot of times. It's just, their demand's very high, and you know better than anybody about capacity and that type of thing. So.
Oh, yeah.
But definitely those types of things get snatched up right away, too. I mean, there's people sitting there just waiting for it to come out, so. Certainly something you wouldn't just encounter in the store.
Gotcha. And you understand that we're at 25 states, and we'll do like a 60-barrel batch of. We have a series of called Ambidextrous Ale Series, and then we just launched a series called Safety Round, and that's a tongue-in-cheek, and I'll tell you about that. But they're both draft series only. One's above 7.5%, and the other's below 5%. We'll do a 60-barrel batch, but that's 120 kegs. Basically 100 to 120 kegs based on the beer. But distribute that over 25 states, and Florida gets 6.
Yeah.
So I get that.
We can relate to that. There's a lot of stuff we get 6 from. There's a lot of people that do that, just that 100-barrel series, 100-barrel batch, and but it needs to be done. You guys need to have that really nice little signature stuff that people are waiting for, and it's kind of a nice point of difference for sure.
Yeah, and lets our brewers get creative too.
Absolutely, it's their chance to be creative. Talk to me a little bit about, for people who don't know out there, I mean, we kind of just dashed upon your history, or you got any fun, interesting stories about your brewmasters or anything you want to share with the people out there?
So we started 20 years ago. The two founders of the brewery, Dick and Eric, were both Air Force grads. And Dick, actually, when a lot of people asked, hey, did you start, brewing when you were at the Air Force Academy? And they will both tell you unequivocally, no, they did not brew when they were at the Air Force Academy. But Dick actually got a homebrew kit from his brother for Christmas one year after he had graduated, and that's when he started brewing. Sawtooth was actually the first beer he brewed, 4 years before the brewery started. And then Eric was traveling around the world, and I mean, he was a military brat, so he grew up in Japan, he grew up in Germany. He remembers just drinking Hefeweizen as a kid. That's where their love of beer. So you look at it, that's where we've got our background of English and German style beers come from. So it's kind of funny. The funniest story I love to talk about the brewery is a lot of people ask us, hey, why are you named Left-Handed? Are the owners or the founders left-handed? And they're not, right? It's a nod to our local culture. Chief Left Hand out here wintered in the area with his tribe, and he could speak several different languages, and so he was a very important Indian chief out this way. So you'll see Left Hand Creek, Left Hand Trail, Left Hand Mountain, so a variety of different things out here, Left Hand Brewery. So that's where we're named. But it's funny, when we first started, just like you guys see most smaller breweries, to put your logo on the top of a bottle cap, or a crown as we call it, you have to order a large quantity. And so Left Hand Brewing Company shrunk down to less than an inch. You really can't read. So we hired an artist to come up with some logos for us, and this is before the red left hand that most people are familiar with. And he came up with 10 or so designs, and Eric and Dick were like, no, that sucks, no, that sucks, no, that sucks, and just took it out. He got really upset and threw his hand on a piece of paper and traced it, and boom, there's our logo. Photoshop. So no, massive brewery budgets and focus groups and all that crap.
It's like that turkey when you're in elementary school, right?
I think it's brilliant. You don't even have to know who you are, and you say, hey, what's that Left Hand about? And you just said our name.
It is brilliant. What a great brewery, and just sounds like you guys are just going nowhere but up. Fantastic. Any good snippets of information you could, can share with us? Some fun and interesting things in the future? By any chance, off the top of your head?
Yeah. You guys coming out to GABF this year?
I'm going to try and make it. I was just in Colorado, so I don't know if I'm going to get back. But the tickets sell so quickly.
They do.
It's tough. Usually by the time I'm making those decisions, it's like, they disappear in front of your eyes. But I'm definitely trying.
Okay. Well, if you can, let me know. Shoot me an email. We're doing it's an industry only event, so it's not necessarily open to the public. But we are doing our 20th anniversary party down in Denver during the GABF this year, and we may or may not be introducing a couple new beers. That's as much as I can tell you.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, that's a nice little teaser. That's perfect.
Yeah, so let us know. It'll be Thursday night. We're taking over the top floor of the Grand Hyatt again like we did 2 years ago.
Very cool.
So, keep us in mind.
I definitely will. Everybody's going to keep you in mind, especially with these wonderful beers that you've been producing. Chris Leonard, VP Operations, Left Hand Brewing, Longmont, Colorado. Such a pleasure to have you on By the Glass Show. A man and a scholar you are, for certain.
Yeah, rock on, guys. Thanks for everything you're doing for craft beer.
Thanks for taking your time to call in, buddy.
Thank you.
Beers are awesome.
Have a great week, guys.
Okay, thanks again. Awesome.
All right, cheers.
What a cool. Thanks for not being coerced.
What a cool guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Making some really good beer here.
Yeah,
I am drinking.
Hold on a second. You're not finishing that off.
Yeah,
you're not finishing that off. All right, so we're keeping some of this.
Sharing
right?
is caring.
We're keeping we're keeping that, and we're keeping that, and then later on in the show, we're going to pour those together and have a chocolate-covered cherry milk stout.
Yummies.
So George doesn't care, but I do. Okay. All right. So as we were moving right along here, and I gotta say, Chris is a cool dude, man. I mean, really great. He's got a great radio voice. I better watch out, man.
Take your place.
Absolutely. But moving right along here, we're gonna get into some of the other beers now. If you didn't like beer and you drank a Cosmopolitan, okay, let's say what would be the first thing you would go for? Maybe something fruitier, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
What do you think, Beah Bunny?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cosmo, raspberry, sweetness, definitely something fruity.
And then there's a lot of girls out there that they drink different kinds of beers. Now, this one might be a little. Some people said it's a little sweet, Samuel Smith, but I know that the Abita has the purple haze. I know that the Harpoon UFO. I know that you said about the Sea Dogs.
Yep, the Sea Dogs have a lot of the different fruity ones.
And these are beers that, remember, they're just intro. This is the intro to craft beer. So we've poured a little bit. I know everybody's kind of gone through theirs, but what'd you guys think of this one? It's nice and fruity and fizzy. The Samuel Smith Organic Raspberry Ale. It almost tasted like a cider. What'd you think?
It's like candy.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Very sweet. It definitely has a little bit of a cider flavor, but the color is really nice.
But it finishes with a little sour, huh?
Little sour.
Yeah.
So that's a nice... Now, what did you think, Jack?
Has a bit of a sweet and sour taste to it.
Now the thing about sweet and sour is, now I don't know, Jack, how much you know about beer, but beer is all sweet, but then it needs something to counter it. So generally, what they use is hops.
Oh, okay.
In beers where they don't use hops, they tend to use a sourness, and the sourness comes from an additional bacteria that they put in it called lactobacillus. Lactobacillus is what makes yogurt and sour cream sour. So they put that in beer, and so you get the sweet and then the sour to balance, because you can't just have all one.
It's sweet once it hits your tongue, and then as the finish, it's that sour.
You guys like sweet tarts?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was tasting. Like it had that kind of taste to it.
If you think about it like that, it's a sweet tart beer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's just like candy.
It's just like candy.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's definitely what it's all about. So that's an interesting one. What'd you think?
I agree. It's a sweet tart beer, and I'm not a raspberry guy, but this works. Yeah, you get spit on all the time. That's just the only fruit I don't like is raspberry. So sue me.
Maybe you'll like some blueberry beer.
I will. I have. I don't actually. This isn't bad because
actually, George, remember when we were at the Sweetwater kickoff? We interviewed Freddie.
Right.
Freddie Bench. Remember the blue?
Yes, the blue was very
Blue
good.
was really, really good.
Have you tried that?
I have not gotten a chance to try the blue. I like the 420 though.
Yeah, it's in stores. You can't buy it. You can't buy it on tap yet. Pretty soon. But
Dio's wearing the souvenir T-shirts. That we have. By the way, I have a story already. I walk into an Irish pub on South Beach just yesterday, and I walk in and I order a Guinness, and he goes, "We have Sweetwater 420." And I and I said, "I'll stick with the Guinness, thank you." I mean, it's really good beer, but I mean, it's just like Guinness. We were just talking with the guy. It's really, really good. But the blueberry. But the blue, is that what it's?
Sweetwater Blue.
It was great. I could drink that all day long.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting beer, and the funny thing about it was it's just a nuance of blueberry, and then it goes right to a golden ale. It's not flavor all the way
It's not that
through.
strong. It's a nice hint of blueberry, and then it's very good.
Because the thing is these things are great. Like you could definitely drink one of these, but then it becomes a little much.
Yeah,
for me anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
A little too sweet.
Isn't it interesting that I didn't even pay Chris or anything, but it's like he backed up about 4 things that I said in his conversations. Isn't that funny? He was talking about how anybody can do this, but the real judge of a man is how he makes his Pilsner. And that's what they all go back to, is making Pilsners again, I'm telling you. Because they really want to get down to what's the hardest beer and the best beer to make that shows that you're a really great brewery. And I have tasted their, oh my God, I'm going to say this. I have tasted their Polestar.
Hey,
George.
Hi-oh.
What? Sorry, I didn't even hear anything.
I've tasted their Polestar.
More beer.
Yeah.
I need more beer. I'm going to let that one go. That's
now
too,
you can touch
too
it with
easy.
a 10-foot
Polestar.
Oh, my Lord.
That's right. That's also right down the block. We have a studio, Polestars.
Oh yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yes. You can learn to pole dance and live your life stream, Brett.
And you can buy a pole and take it home.
And they spin too.
I like checks better.
That's interesting. You like checks better than poles?
Yeah. Just you get more mileage.
You don't like just a tad better? A tadpole?
Oh
my Lord! It just keeps on going.
Show is bad. What a stinker.
Well, folks, geez, we got one more beer to try, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into some dogfish for Seth over here. Seth likes the dogfish. I think in this, in the notes, he has the Festina Pesh.
Yes.
What is it, though? Is that what he gave me? I think he gave me Aprihop.
Is it?
By mistake, which is fine. It's just another fruit beer, but Pesh is peach and
apricot.
Aprihop.
That's fine.
Yep, aprihop.
So put that back in there. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into that and all kinds of fun stuff like we always do on By the Glass on SoFloRadio.com.
SoFloRadio.com.
If there was no demand, there would be no supply.
SoFloRadio.com. Supplying what you demand.
Strawberry patching smoothie.
Get your hands off me.
Huh?
I said don't touch me.
I shouldn't have went to that party last night. Now I'm seeing talking fruit.
You're not dreaming, Bubba, and you're not putting me in that blender.
But you're just a fruit.
Who you calling a fruit?
You are. You're a delicious passion fruit.
Why, sure, I'm passionate. How would you like to be blended, huh? I got right, you know.
Customers waiting. You gotta go.
Yeah, but wait, you can...
At Power Smoothie in Aventura, we show fruit no mercy. Always fresh, always delicious. To make the best smoothies and wraps on earth, try our new cilantro lime-alicious wrap or our hot chipotle chicken. Power Smoothie in Aventura, located just north of the Aventura Mall in the Promenade Shops. Or call 305-792-5338. Open 7 days a week. Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now. 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Say, remember when radio was fun? Now it's dead.
Because deregulation has allowed one massive corporation to spread its tentacles like a giant octopus, absorbing radio stations around the globe. And that's why you hear this.
SoFlo Radio will stand and fight the corporate monolith. SoFloRadio.com. SoFloRadio.com. And now we return you to By the Glass.
Hey everybody, welcome back to By the Glass. We got some really cool little 9 Inch Nails kicking for that bumper, huh? Beah Bunny tells me that they're coming to town.
Yes, I'm so excited.
What was the date on that?
I believe it is October 30th, right before Halloween.
Wow, that's scary. That's definitely it's perfect, you know, to get your fix on for some 9 Inch Nails. Welcome back to By the Glass Show. We're a show about beverage culture. We got a great family on here, the By the Glass family in here tonight. We got Beah Bunny and her lovely boyfriend Seth, and then we got Gentleman Jack over there, of course, intern Dio, and my favorite of all, I've been so bad.
Yes, I have.
With my Wiener Schnitzel and my sack.
Oh, and dry hopping.
Oh, dry hopping my sack.
That's right.
How does sack get thrown in there?
And pole starring. And,
Spick picking.
You meat packer by the old river vein. Anyway, so we're having a wonderful time here because we're talking about intro to craft beer. And we tried a lot of really cool craft beers. And we tried ones that are really perfect steps or bridges into the next one. We did the Helles Lager, which would bring you up from a regular lager. We did the Weihenstephan and Hefeweizenbier, and that would bring you up from the Blue Moon. And then we went to we talked to Chris Leonard, really awesome dude, about the Milk Stout Nitro, which is a great step up from Guinness.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
It's very good.
You know what I mean?
And it's a great sweet stout.
Yeah, and the thing is, folks, that Guinness is a dry Irish stout. They attenuate it. That means that it's a lot more alcohol, and it has a lot more bitter, noble hop in it.
It's dry-rish.
And East Kent Goldings, it's dry-rish. But the sweet stout, they actually use lactic sugar.
There's lactose in there.
There's lactose in there.
If you look at the ingredients,
exactly, and lactose
does
not ferment by yeast, so that's what keeps it sweet.
Say Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch.
Yeah.
Irish wristwatch.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So anyway, we're
Amateurs.
pouring a little bit of this last one here as we kind of continue on. We're pouring the Apra Hop by Dogfish Head, and this was supposed to be a Festina Pesh. Nice one, Ed. But this is a great one.
This has a really great smell, aroma.
No, this is what will take you from a Yingling or possibly an amber beer or a Mick Ultra Amber or whatever you're drinking out there. This is a nice one to step up into a nice ambery type
flowery,
malty beer.
fruity. I just want to huff it, sniff it.
Exactly. There's awesome aroma to that.
Mm-hmm. That's phenomenal.
And the color is really,
Jack,
really
don't miss
pretty.
out on this. But the thing is it also has a really nice little bit of bitterness from the apricot, and it also has a nice hop balance too.
Dio.
This is a way to get your hop
I had
palate.
barely anything.
This is a way to get your hop palate up a little bit. Okay,
Blame
so
Ivan.
you folks that don't know.
Bad, Ivan. Bad.
I am bad.
Do me a favor. Pass me the 2 bottles there. We're going to do a little chocolate covered. We're going to do, for anybody who wants to, just do a dash. I'm going to do a little bit of, just a skosh of this, which is the Weihenstephaner and a Scotia the raspberry together. And that should be a fun little beer. So anybody who wants to try that one, or if you want to try it with the milk stout, go ahead and give it a shot, because this is a great way to do a little beer blending. And that's also another way. So you see here I have a little bit of that fruit and a little bit of the Weihenstephaner.
And this is also something that's really nice, again,
That
for
tastes
girls.
absolutely amazing. Guys, blend at home. You can take a fruit beer and blend it with just about any stout or any Hefeweizen, and it makes a really nice crisp drink, right? This Apra hop is perfect. It really is. Guys, I really want to thank everybody who came today. Beah Bunny and bringing lovely Seth with her.
No, you
thanks,
be a bunny.
Thanks
No,
so
you
much
be a bunny.
for. Thanks so much for coming in, Gentleman Jack, and definitely coming up with. He's my new newsman. Jason couldn't make it today. Dio for just being yourself, and of course,
the milk stuff with the raspberries.
my
very
comedy
good.
relief over
It's
here.
mouthgasmic.
How do I get some of that?
What do you guys think? You like the milk stout with the
Milk stout
raspberry?
with raspberry,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm telling you, these are great combinations. You know, when you sit home with your friends and you try this interesting stuff, that's what's beautiful too about these big bottles. When you got a great crowd like we have
I need
here,
that stout.
and you get the big bottles, that means that you can. Don't pour it all in there, George. You can just you can share and have fun with your friends and do interesting stuff. You know what I mean? And try all the different flavors. What'd you think of the Apra hop?
Very good.
Now, did you ever drink maybe a Yingling before?
It's much better than a Yingling.
Oh my God, much
Well, I'm just
better.
trying to say like a malty like lager or like an amber type beer.
No, not really.
No? Okay, well that's okay. So then you like hops off the bat then,
Yeah.
huh? Cool.
Real nice.
It's definitely
Okay,
better
but you
than
drank
like
a
an
Yingling
Amberbach.
before,
Yeah,
right?
and I-
Do you see where I'm coming from,
Yeah,
though?
this is much better, and I don't usually like hoppy, but this is great.
Great, so it's a nice gateway beer.
Gateway beer.
Gateway
Awesome.
beer.
Thanks so much to Total Wine and Ed Roberts, and definitely to Left Hand Brewing and Chris Leonard for calling in. What a great interview. Hopefully Ed will hook up with our buddy from Beer Pulse, Adam, and see if we can get a couple tidbits. What do you guys think? Think there was a little news in there? We could
Oh
probably.
yeah, well,
What about that
according to
party?
him, if you
We're
go
gonna
to-
crash
yeah.
that party.
Oh yeah.
Seth, you gonna
We
crash
gotta
the
go to
party?
Denver.
Top floor.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Definitely.
been talking about going to Colorado for a while. I got some
Yeah.
friends there.
We should wear matching outfits.
OMG, that would be. Can we wear matching by the glass shirts?
How
'Cause that
about-
would be super hot.
How about with
I
a
thought we
cape?
would go dressed as Teletubbies, but that's good. That's good too.
Tinky Winky.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Tinky Winky. That's not fair.
I don't even know what that is.
I get to
just
be.
kidding.
I get to be.
Do you think I really know what it is?
I'm gonna be Lala.
Everybody,
Of course you are.
drive safe. Do not drink and drive.
Let's do Yo Gabba Gabba instead. There's
Enjoy.
more. How many people? Wait, we got.
That's more creepy.
Wait, we got a couple.
We don't have enough. You're black. You can be DJ Lance.
Ah,
Hold on a
okay.
second.
That works.
Wait.
What's that thing where people do with the sling or the crush or the? I know I'm
What?
so out of it.
Batering?
No. Where everybody like you do one thing and then like it changes and then everybody's doing something funky.
Stop motion
The
animation.
Harlem Shake.
Shake.
Ah, the
Oh, yeah,
Harlem
no.
Shake.
We'll do our own Harlem Shake with Teletubbies, Hinky Dinkies, Gabba Gabbas, and all your favorite
Dinky
by the
Dinkies.
glass.
Tinky Winky,
by the
Dimsy,
glass.
Lala, and
Shrinky,
Mo.
shrinky dinks.
And guys, be safe out there
Listen,
for sure.
I feel like
Pounding
a real-
beers.
All right, I used to make Shrinky Dinks when I was a
I know.
kid.
I feel like I'm a little bit too young for Shrinky Dinks, even though I know what they are.
Hold on a second. Yeah,
I made
you
a
know-
shrinky dink this morning, but then I turned the water and I turned the hot water on, and it
You had to
went
flush
okay.
it?
You made a dinkle?
I turned the
That's what
hot water
happens
on.
when you go in the
and then-
pool.
Yeah.
George Costanza.
Shrinkage.
What are you now?
Pounding
before or
the
after
wiener.
your Wiener Schnitzel.
Yeah.
And your meatpacking session.
Yeah.
Oy, good balls.
Oy
with the left hand.
We're really going to take it in the rear for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord.
I think that everyone should go out, get a random beer they've never tried before, have like a beer potluck, and just see what you like. That's the best way
beer
to
and
do
pot and good luck. What?
My wife
Yeah.
does that, but with dudes.
Pot and good luck.
The dude she's never tried before, a bunch of random dudes, and see what
Just
you like.
random. Just
Potluck, you never know.
take some pictures, Instagram it, in
Yep.
video.
She does all that. She's a slut.
Packing the meat.
I never met your wife, George.
Haven't you? That's probably why you haven't slept with her.
You think she likes a good Apra hop?
How do you really feel,
whatever.
George?
She's into dry hopping.
Yeah.
Dry hopping
love
and
it.
wet
I love it.
sacking.
I haven't wet
That's
sacked
right.
in years. Thanks so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
With the left hand.
Yikes. Keep
Fantastic.
talking.
All right, so
You got like
next
30
year,
more seconds.
next show, we're going to be down at our buddy Charles Farron. We're going to go down to do a live remote at the Mas Vino. It finally opened up. You guys remember Charles, who was our resident whiskey expert? He'll be sharing a bunch of great whiskeys with us and all the kinds of fun stuff that can only happen when you invade a liquor store as a radio show. And
Yeah.
you really get treated well because they just continue to pummel you with all kinds of really fun stuff that you can drink for free.
Sounds fun.
It's George's dream, actually.
Yes.
To go into a liquor store and drink for free.
Yes.
This is the best gimmick we ever came up with, right, George?
Can I
Fabulous.
just run around and grab what I want?
I haven't really.
You certainly
That's what-
can.
that's
And
what
the
you do
liquor
anyway,
too?
isn't it?
And you won't even be.
Speaking of which, liquor too.
Hold on. Wonder drum powers activate. Form of
A wet spot.
You've been waiting for that one for years. Everybody be safe, happy. Love you guys. See you next week. BuyTheGlassShow.com.
SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com.